Back with Sterling Hayden. We drank on the air here one night. Didn't we have a drink the first night that you were here? When we didn't have the studio audience, I thought we had something in our cups. Not that we would do that tonight with guests in the house.
I don't remember that we did. I think I would have remembered it, too, because I know I wanted to. Yeah, that's another story, isn't it?
How you doing with that? Pretty good? I remember we talked about the...
Yeah, we touched on that before.
Well, the pressure to write that sometimes a drink does help the relaxation process and often the fertilization of the mentalization process.
That's true. That's true.
Of the fermentation process, yes.
No, it's absolutely true. I agree with that 100%. Yeah. I would enter the demurrer that I don't need to, or I can't lay it just on that, you know, because I think that if I had not been writing or trying to write, I'd still be battling with the booze. Yeah, I believe that, since we're talking. Yeah.
Well, you say you're working. Well, you're working.
Because I know there's no reason there's no genuine reason. You know, I mean, no logical reason. No, I'm lucky. I've got a beautiful wife, beautiful family. Got it made in a way. I'm solvent.
Yep.
Some of the time.
Got your ticket. Okay.
Got the ship. So I asked myself, hey, now we all, as we all know, doesn't make any sense. You know. It's so glorious for the first 3 or 4 hours or 7 or 8 hours, you know, but it's the next couple of days, huh?
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
But I'm holding my own.
How about Ronald Reagan? Remember when he, and I know there was a chapter in your life that you wrote about that you're not terribly proud of when you went to the House On-American Activities Committee, and then Ronald Reagan sent you a letter commending you for your testimony. Now he's President of the United States.
Yes.
What do you make of it so far? What does Sterling Hayden think of this presidency?
I'm glad you asked that, because I was thinking about that coming in today. I was thinking about that coming in and thought we might get into that. And I have they're very complicated feelings. They were not complicated at first, and I won't make any bones about it. Along with a lot of people that I travel with, I don't travel with many people, but that I encounter traveling, the general feeling was, no. No, it scared us.
Okay, before he came in, then you were scared?
Before he came in, because whatever. And now as I watch everything transpire, there are many, extenuating factors, and I know I, as a one-time would-be Red, and I wanted to be. After Yugoslavia and the thing when I was in the party, part of me said, this is the way I believe, and I equated it with trying to social reform and make it a better world. Part of me is that way, but I'm not an idiot enough not to know that. The Soviet Union's armament thing required a response from somebody, didn't it? So in a way, but now I get lost. I get lost because the thing with Reagan's, the whole mood in the country going to the shall we say the old Stars and Stripes thing. I understand that. I can cry, when I see the flag or I see people, But there is one thing about the man that I must say I don't understand. I wish he'd explain it to me sometime, or explain it to all of us. And that is when he embraces, I believe you're going to have somebody on here the next night or two from El Salvador. Did I read that or hear that? All right. In my innermost man, as I analyze, and I've seen so much of the world, may I say, and to throw in, as I believe the administration is doing, whether it is Chile, Argentina, Brazil, or so many places in the world, to throw in with the conservative right against the people, this distresses me, of course, very much, because I think the only way to contain or turn over the spread of communism is, for heaven's sakes, for people to have a fair deal in this world. And it ain't the people who are running Argentina and Brazil and many other countries we can rattle off around here. So that I'm lost on that one. I think it's sad, and it surprises me because he's such a brilliant as well as articulate man. We saw that way back in Hollywood in the time of that you mentioned, in the '51 period of the HUAC and whatnot. Reagan, who amazed everybody, whoever would have dreamed there would be such a script, that a second-rate or a third-rate actor, pardon me, President Reagan.
Now, don't say it would be a second-rate or third-rate.
No, but who would have thought that it would make this transition? I mean, no novelist would dare have such a scenario, would he? Well, we'll see, won't we?
Yes, we will.
We'll see.
We will find out.
Maybe now we're glad we're not 25. No, we're not, because we got kids 25. The friends 25. Really. No, it's rough. It's rough. This whole thing yesterday was so rough.
Yeah, terrible.
How do you think about it? Again, maybe that's why I think there are worse things than moving through the world. I think I read a beautiful thing in Newsweek yesterday by a man named Jack Kroll. whom I've never had the pleasure of meeting, about Nicholas Nickleby. And he explained to me, because I'd heard about it. And it's really Dickens' story of life and the world, and the hope that whether it's the right or the left or the center, maybe that doesn't matter. What matters is people touching people going by and laughing. This, I think, is what Nicholas Nickleby has to say to us, and what Dickens had to say, and what literature has to say. Maybe the Bible, as far as I know. I just played John Brown in Arkansas. For 2 days, Civil War piece that CBS is doing called The Blue and the Gray. And I never thought I'd play old Brown. I never thought I'd have the audacity. But somehow something said to me, go ahead, try. And he was talking about, I remember I had to throw out a speech in the courthouse there in Arkansas, let's say there's 10 days ago, 14 at the most. And Brown, it was from Brown's, of course, actual speech when he said the Bible, he looks at the Bible and the stand there. He said, I see a book kissed here. That teaches me, whatsoever I would men should do to me, I should do even so unto them. Well, now, I hope I live that way. And I think I do, because I can look myself in the face, even though I've done a few things that I would like to forget. Not very many. But maybe if only there was more of this, why, it wouldn't be such a hassle.
Well, you see, when one thinks of it, I was in the country of Vietnam once many years ago, when that whole thing was going on, and you learn real quickly that the people don't much care whether Hanoi is running it or Saigon is running it. What they care about is, do they have the herd of water buffalo, and is there grain in the storage chamber? And are the children healthy, and are they getting education? Do they have clothing, and do they have food? And whichever system delivers that to them best is the system they will support. It's not a great big decision, as you said about the Dickens time, whether it's right, left, or center. It's which allows us the ability to survive and to touch each other as we go through.
Each other.
There you go. I got to touch the commercials for a second. Back with Sterling Hayden after this for our sponsors and the NBC television station. I was just telling Sterling when I was in France a couple of weeks ago, I went to this place where Vincent van Gogh, now they tell me he chopped his ear off. And I have to believe them because I don't know. I went up to the place.
Large part of it, I believe.
Yeah, I think the whole thing. I asked the fellow in the restaurant, I says, why did he chop his ear off? He says he didn't like the food.
I don't get it. Didn't like food.
Didn't like the food in the restaurant.
I thought it was in a house of ill repute.
Well, it probably back in that time was that as well.
Yes.
But we went up to the room, you know, where he died. They had his deathbed there and his pallet and his the skylight with the, and there were all these little paintings on the wall. Now, they certainly were not originals because those would be in the museum. But they were damn good reproductions. And I said to the person I was with, take the little one over the bed and put it in your purse and let's get out of here, you know, but you can't do those things.
Why not? Man made $250 in his entire life. Did you know that? His gross receipts.
$250?
$250.
Van Gogh?
Van Gogh.
His paintings sell in the millions.
Well, that's not when he was around. No, I believe that's very accurate. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's such an extreme example that I remember it. Yeah. Check me out sometime. Yeah. How long were you down there?
Just a day.
Just a day. And why were you there, may I ask?
Now, wait, are you doing...
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I went over, I did an interview with this man, Bonnie Sauter, who was the former president.
But he was in Paris.
He was in Paris. Then I went, well, but no, he's outside of Paris in this little village, the name of which I don't remember.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where the Cafe Vincent van Gogh is. And then I met a man that you know or do not know, Omar Sharif.
I've heard the name.
Fellow's gone busted 4 times gambling, and he's making a comeback now.
I can go busted without gambling.
Well, you know something? Can I tell you something? Everybody gets a little something going through here. Some people get gambling, some people get women or men, some people get booze. But everybody gets a little something to take through life with them that they kind of have to deal with, a little cross to bear, so to speak. And Omar Sharif's, I guess, is, throwing the dice and playing the ponies. Just as yours, as you have talked about.
Well, Sinatra said it pretty well, I believe. Sinatra said, he said, I don't care if it's gambling, dope, a quart of dames, just so it gets you through the night, you know? In a way, that's what you're saying. Yeah. Now, we meet people who say, well, why do you need anything? You know? You ever meet people who say that?
Sure. And
why do you need anything?
Read the papers.
Yeah.
The other night I'm watching one of the television news programs, and they have a report on poverty and how poor people are these days and how the poor people are getting worked over with the food stamps and the school lunches and everything. And then they end that report, and And the guy comes on and he says, this news is brought to you by the Lincoln Continental.
Yep.
I said, how can we do a program about how people are poor and starving, and the program is brought to you by a $22,000 automobile? I thought to myself, there's something wrong here.
Well,
so I had a drink and thought about it. Now, I got to do these commercials. I was going to say goodbye to you here, but we're going to have you not say goodbye for a while. We will continue with Sterling Hayden after this for the NBC television stations all across America.